Hey everyone, welcome to Broadband Deployment News. The state of Alabama is going to be allocating over $204 million, and with provider matches, twice that for broadband projects in the state that will be bringing broadband to about 40,000 businesses and homes, mostly homes obviously, but businesses there. So I'll be right back with the details. Thanks for joining me. Rick Husey here with Broadband Deployment News. So you see here, this is on the Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority page, press release, $204 million in federal funding to provide 40,000 homes and businesses with high-speed internet. The PBDA, that's the Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority, has approved $204 million in Broadband Infrastructure Program grant awards, or BIP awards, to 53 projects in 42 counties across Pennsylvania that will connect 40,000 homes and businesses, bringing high-speed internet to over 100,000 Pennsylvanians. And that's about 5,100 or so per location that the state is going to be paying for, and really the federal government. And then again, twice that. So it's about over 10,000, a little over 10,000 as far as per location when you consider the matching funds that are coming in. The grants awarded to businesses and nonprofits will be matched by more than $200 million in private investment. Across the Commonwealth, more than 276,000 households, businesses, schools, and libraries don't have access to broadband, said Pennsylvania Budget Secretary Uri Monson, the PBDA board chairman. And I'm assuming that they haven't subtracted yet the 40,000 that this is going to take out of that number. So this is good, obviously, for future BEAD funding. This is 40,000 locations that won't have to be funded through BEAD. To create more opportunity for all Pennsylvanians, we must expand access to reliable and affordable high-speed internet. Funded through the Capital Projects Fund, that's the federal government program that's part of ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act. Capital Projects Fund, $10 billion that a lot of states have used in that fund to fund their broadband deployment. Again, prior to BEAD, so these are funds that have been dispersed to a lot of states that are already taking a lot of these locations off the map. Upon completion, projects must deliver service that meets or exceeds symmetrical download and upload speeds of 100 by 100 symmetrical, with prioritization given to fiber optic deployment. Projects are also required to include a viable sustainability strategy to maintain, repair, and upgrades existing networks to ensure their continued operation. So they want to make sure that this is not something where they don't have enough money to continue it. Obviously, sometimes you see that issue with grants and people competitive grants. They want to win the business, but sometimes that's at the expense of being able to actually maintain the business after you actually get it built. Let's see, currently 95% of the unserved and underserved households and businesses in Pennsylvania are in rural areas, which that could be one reason why the average is about $10,000, a little over $10,000 per location here, because as you get those rural areas, it's more expensive to build those and to maintain those. Those businesses will be served by these projects. 400,000 businesses that will, among the 42 Pennsylvania counties, and more than 40,000 homes and businesses that will be served by these projects, rural areas, and then it mentions the counties here: Adams, Blair, Cambria, Indiana, Jefferson, Juanita, Perry, Mercer, McKean, Schleichel, and Somerset will benefit from increased access and connectivity. So again, rural areas in Pennsylvania. So out of those 276,000 households, a lot of these are rural apparently, and this is going to be taking care of a lot of those rural locations. Businesses, local governments, co-ops, and nonprofits will now have an opportunity to apply for grants through the Federal Broadband Equity Access Deployment Program, the BEAD program, part of President Biden's Internet for All initiative. The Commonwealth will receive more than $1.16 billion in federal funding to expand broadband in unserved and underserved areas to make sure every Pennsylvanian has access to affordable high-speed internet. The application period will open later in 2024. So that's interesting that they kind of give a hint here that they think they'll be ready by 2024 to start opening the application process for other service providers that want to participate with BEAD at that point. The information on the challenge process for BEAD right now is available in the BEAD section of the PBDA's website. So I did link to this press release in the description if you want to check that out. So they're saying here for people that want to challenge the current locations that are showing as served or unserved on the national broadband map, they've got their challenge process open and you can click right there. The timeline for projects awarded funding today will be completed, are to be completed as of, wait a minute, sorry. The timeline for projects awarded funding today to be completed is December 31st, 2026. So they have to get these projects done by then. And there's a little bit more information in here. So you can check that out, and there's a link to the projects it mentions in here, and I will open that. You won't be able to see it. But I did take these numbers and put them in a spreadsheet. So this is, you can see here, the list. But I put that in a spreadsheet right here to make that a little bigger for you, and then just kind of look at some things a little bit differently. So this is basically the info in the spreadsheet. So you can see here, you've got Adams Cable TV, and it's a cable company. But most likely, again, it mentioned prioritizing fiber projects, and most likely Adams would be doing a fiber build in these areas. If these are areas that are currently unserved, underserved, they most likely would be doing fiber as opposed to doing their DOCSIS hybrid fiber coax kind of, or HFC plant. So you got Adams Cable TV. They didn't win that much. And you can see the matches here as well. So 25% matches here on a lot of these smaller operators. Armstrong's not that small, but you see Adams, Alleghenies, you got Armstrong, Blue Ridge, Claverack Communications, then you got Comcast. So Comcast, you can see the matches are higher. You can see the amounts that they're getting here, and several different projects, and you can see the counties. So that's their matches are gonna vary depending on the project. Are probably dependent on what their incentive was in the area and how difficult it was. So you got anywhere from, with Comcast, you got 47%. Here's 65, there's a 42, 43, 56. There's a 28% match there in Blair and Cambria, 31%, et cetera. Then you've got Connect Holding, 25% match, Frontier, 37, and a 25% match, Upward Broadband, 25. Then you got Verizon North, and you see their matches were pretty high. You got Verizon North, 54. There's a 70% in these counties. That's interesting. That's Cambria and Indiana counties. There's another Indiana county. You got Verizon North. Then you got Verizon Pennsylvania LLC. So I'm lumping that all together as Verizon. I think they probably maybe had put in two different applications, maybe under different LLCs. It might have been at different times, and then they came in or something. I don't know what that's about. But you see, Verizon is going to be Verizon, I think. So you got Verizon North and Verizon Pennsylvania. So you can see they won a lot, and their matches are in kind of all over the place. You do have a 25% here, but then I've mentioned you got 70% up there. Then you got Zito. It looks like they were all 25% matches here in the counties that they were in. So again, you see down here at the bottom, this is the total of the grants that are being awarded, a little over 204 million, but 406 million is being put to work. So almost a 50% match, which is great. So these providers are kicking in. They've got skin in the game. They're kicking in quite a bit of money. And again, it's going to vary, but overall, the match percentage average is 50%. And I also went ahead and I put these by provider as totals just to see, again, the providers and how much they won total. So you can see here Verizon. So they requested 78.3, almost 0.4 million, 186, almost 187 million total, because their match is about 58.06%. Comcast, 61 million for a total of 126.5 million roughly. And again, a little over a 50% match there. Then you've got some 25s here for Zito, Armstrong, Windstream, Pennsylvania had almost a 50% match in the money that they won. And then again, this is progressing about, down by how much each provider won. You got Claverack Communications. You got Frontier, a little over 35% match. Alleghenies Broadband. Everybody else I think was 25%. Yeah, Alleghenies, Upward, Connect Holding, Blue Ridge Communications, and Adams Cable TV. Again, they won the least amount. Again, cable TV company, but probably doing fiber. But what I suspect they were doing is maybe edging out a service area. So they're probably a cable provider using HFC plant in some area. They're probably edging out that and doing fiber there, but they're not reaching out and trying to do areas maybe they're not contiguous with their service area. That would be a guess. Okay, whereas somebody like a Windstream or a Comcast or something like that, they're more used to going into an area that they're not necessarily contiguous with, or maybe they are in some cases. Maybe Comcast has got a lot of areas that they serve in this area. I don't know, in the state. But again, pretty interesting. Again, about $5,000, about $5,100 per location, but twice that when you consider the match. That's going to help bring broadband to the state of Pennsylvania. And again, this will be taking some of the pressure off on the BEAD funding that they're going to be getting, which again, it sounds like they plan on getting the grant process started later this year. So that's one announcement that they made in there, and we'll see if they can keep that. And their challenge process is going on right now. So it looks like they are well on their way toward doing that. So that's good news as well. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you are not subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button, ring the bell, and you'll be notified when I'm live. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.